Hello, I'm Mark. Welcome to Geeks Unleashed. This is episode 224. So each week, each week on the Geeks Unleashed podcast, we catch up on our pop culture lives, as well as discussing some movie news, sometimes some trailer reactions, and we also bring you a movie review. I'm also joined by my regular team. These are some of the hottest guys on YouTube, so I'm just going to bring them both out. Devaughn and Tom, welcome back.
Hey,
hi guys.
How are you?
Man. So anyway, before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching live or on a rewind, please like and subscribe. It's the same you can watch the video on Spotify as well. So please again like and subscribe, etc. Please also comment away for whatever we're talking about, but especially our movie reviews, Suzume. Let us know what you loved about that film. There's no way you didn't like anything about that film. So, right, guys, we are going to crack into it. But before we get going, how was your weeks?
Tom, if you want to go first, go ahead.
It's been a long week. It's flown by, man. It's flown by. It's been non-stop. So I'm glad it's the weekend. I'm glad we're here chatting about a cool anime film, and ready to get it going, man.
And Devaughn, man, you had a good day the other day.
I did, yeah. It's been a week. I'm coming off of PTO tomorrow, so I go back to work tomorrow. But on Wednesday, I went and met an artist that I have been listening to for about 13 years.
Oh wow!
Chance the Rapper.
Oh man, love
yeah. It was absolutely amazing. He pulled up here in Charlotte, and he was at a record store. I waited. It started at 8 p.m. and I got there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I waited about six and a half hours to see him.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
How far in advance did you know that he was going to be there?
So on Tuesday he was here, and then I found out Tuesday. Right. My girlfriend texted me. She was like, "Hey, by the way, he's going to be there at the record store tomorrow if you want to go."
Wow.
And I was like, "What time should I go? Like 6?" She goes, "No. You got to get there earlier than that." And I was like, okay. And I'm glad I did, because when I was there, like waiting at 6, the line was so long.
Oh,
and I was like third in line to like meet him and everything. So.
Oh wow, you're getting there at 2 and you were third in line.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. And what's crazy is the two girls in front of me weren't like the biggest Chance the Rapper fans. So I was like, oh man, you guys have no idea. You guys have no clue. Yeah. So. But it was awesome.
Were you upskilling them while you were there? Right.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, because so like the hat that I wore, it's like his signature hat, the 3 on it. Oh. So I was wearing it, and they were like, "Oh, did you just pick that up here?" And I was like, "No, I've had this for 10 years. Like I've had it since he released his 3rd album. Like I've had this hat for a long time." And they were like, "Oh, so you're a big fan?" I said, "I'm a huge fan. Like I absolutely love his music." So yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty rad to see him, because he's doing a show here on the 22nd. So that's why he's here, and he's got some family that lives in Charlotte. So he was here.
Are you headed to the show? Or?
I'm not. No, I'm working. I didn't even know about the show until this whole pop-up thing, and I was like, damn, like if I would have known, I definitely would have gone. But
did you go for a hug?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Went in for a hug, gave him a hug, everything. It was awesome. It was so dope.
You know what, man? He always comes across like a real, like genuine guy, man. He seems real cool.
He was super nice, super like it felt like homey. Like it was like very, very nice.
When I saw the picture of you two on Instagram yesterday, it just looked like you were two mates like hanging out. So I thought, that's what, because I messaged you straight away. I was like, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. Super cool.
Probably going to top just mine and Tom's week off.
Keep mine.
No.
Sure.
I've met nobody famous this week, unfortunately. So I haven't really done a lot. I've talked a lot about politics, but I will not do that on here. So Devaughn might know about this, but over here in the UK, we had like council elections. I don't know if you guys call them government elections. They're the people that are in charge of like the services, like potholes on the road and and so everyone's been full of it the last 2 days. Okay, right. I'm tired, but it's been a busy week work-wise. It's been a busy week work-wise, but my weekend will be good. I'm going into London on Sunday. I'm going to see the Two Towers live at the Albert Hall.
Oh wow!
So it's the film itself is on a big screen, and then the music is live orchestra.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna love that, man.
I know.
Just hearing that Isengard theme, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
So that like for me, if we were doing this Sunday night, that would be like my highlight. But
Yeah.
right. Okay, so before we do the Geek of the Week, there is something we do as well around here called Geek News. So I'm just going to shout out a couple of things. I thought these are quite interesting. So firstly, that there's going to be a new Planet of the Apes movie. 20th Century is working with Fantastic Four director Matt Shakman. That's all I have on that. But I love the Planet of the Apes franchise, so I'm fucking
so good.
The latest one was
that was so good.
Amazing.
Yeah, with that bunker, that twist that there's that was so good. Right, okay. Devil Wears Prada 2 came out last week. That was a sequel. It has hit over 300 million globally. Reports that Meryl Streep has earned 12.5 million to return, whilst she also ensured her co-stars received significant bonuses as well.
Nice. Awesome.
This bit is really interesting to me as well. Mortal Kombat 2 officially is released today in cinemas. However, yesterday they did previews, and of those previews, they have made over 5 million.
Whoa!
Just on one night. So there we go.
Wow.
Right. We will jump into some trailer reactions now. So there's 3 trailer reactions that I'm going to show us, and I will save the big hype one for last. But the first one I'm going to go into is an animated movie. So it's a Hong Kong animated film called Another World. It's due to be released in US theatres. I haven't got a UK date at the moment, but June 5th. And in Hong Kong, it's one of the highest grossing animated films of last year. Was originally shown in Cantonese with English subtitles. So I'm going to jump into it now. We'll get a flavour for it. It's not a long trailer, just about a minute. Okay, hold on.
我叫小鬼，我哋一直守護每個嚟到世外嘅亡魂，直到佢哋投胎為止。我同我細佬失散咗啊！你可唔可以幫我揾下細佬？我一定可以帶你去下一世，你一定會見返你細佬。
鬼之牙生咗出嚟之後，就翻唔到轉頭噶啦。
呢1000年，無論你去咗邊度，我都會揾到你。我應承你，我一定會揾到你。我好恐怖啊！ 唔捨得嘅感覺，原來係咁嘅。
Pull us back to the main screen. I think that looks awesome. Yeah,
That's really cool.
It's got that dramatic anime flair that they have. You know, like the slowly, as they're getting pulled apart. I mean. I didn't know about that, to be honest, until I was prepping for this show.
First I've heard about it as well, actually.
Yeah, same. That's awesome.
So the next one I'm going to show is probably right up Tom Street. I've never watched an Australian horror, but this is an Australian horror. It debuted in October last year at the Adelaide Film Festival. It is it has no release date at the moment, I'm sure it will come out at some point this year. Right, I'm going to hit play. It is called Penny Lane is Dead. I deliberately don't know anything about it other than what I just told you guys.
Wow.
I don't know. It seems like it's probably like a slow burn and it probably goes nuts.
Yeah, it did kind of come across that way in the trailer, to be fair.
It reminds me of The Green Room.
I'm not saying that.
That's a good movie. That's what it reminds me of. kind of like a, I wouldn't say low budget, but definitely like B-rated movie.
Yeah.
But like the
Yeah,
Green
it's
Room
about-
was like, it was like the Green Room was kind of like a B-rated movie, but like really great actors. I mean, you got Patrick Stewart. What was the guy's name that he was in Star Trek and he died?
Oh, was it Anton
Oh,
Yelchin?
Yep.
Yeah,
Anton Yelchin, yep.
yeah.
Really, it's a good movie. I was not expecting some of the stuff that happened in that.
Imogen Poots is in it. I love Imogen Poots.
Yep. It's a good movie.
Joe Cole's in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will try and watch it soon.
Yeah, it's a good one. Not for kids. I will say that.
Yeah.
Not for children.
I don't think that last film was for children either.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
There was definitely. I felt like in that trailer there that we just watched, there was, like the first half of it, I was like, is anything gonna kind of happen? And then then the last half of the trailer, I was like, okay, a shitload is gonna happen. So
yeah, revs it up real quick.
Yeah, I had heard about this one. There's a site that I follow, Bloody Disgusting. They, horror news channel, and I had heard about this. I hadn't seen the trailer, and I was kind of like you in the first half. I was wondering what direction it was going to go, and it looks like it's going down that kind of, opposed to like a scary horror movie, more like a fun, gory.
Yeah,
I always find it weird. Like, obviously, you've got the UK that make content, films, TV shows, and obviously America does, and so, every country does. To a degree, every country does. But obviously, Australia, the United Kingdom, and America, obviously, all English-speaking for the most part countries, and how our styles are just all so different. Like, and that style, that film, is just could never be made by Americans or British people.
Nope.
It had a real quirky Australian humour in there that you're not going to get in any of the things that Britain or America make.
Oh yeah.
Which makes it unique. And I mean, like, I want to watch it. We'll have to see whether I enjoy it, but
right.
To be honest, Australia, they've kind of got interesting history in the horror genre. They always pop up with little gems. They've had a good few directors as well. I don't know if you know, like Peter Jackson's first couple of movies were like these really gory horror movies. I suppose not Australia, but Australasia. But yeah, there's some interesting films that come from that part of the world in the horror genre that are really, really out there and really interesting.
Huh. Let's check them out.
I watched a few TV shows from Australia over the years. Obviously, Neighbours. Devaughn probably doesn't know what Neighbours is. Neighbours is an Australian soap which is incredibly family friendly. They don't really, like, nothing bad ever happens. You can imagine, it's almost like a street that's just, I don't know, it's just so nice. Like, okay, people might clash a little bit, but it's like there's no real violence or drugs or anything like that. And it's been going for like 20 plus years or something, maybe 30 years, I can't remember. But I used to watch it when I was a kid. I never watch it now, it's so bad. But I have watched a few Australian shows over the years. There's one that was very similar to the British show Skins that came out about 10, 12 years ago. Only ran for one season, but I watched it and I really enjoyed it. Okay, so last trailer is a big one, and I don't think I need to do any build up. People will know what it is. This came out this week, so it's the second trailer, I believe.
Tell me what you remember.
So people listening, this is the Odyssey.
A son.
And then what?
We won the war. Help me go home.
This is a household waiting for master. I want you to choose me.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
No, he's not.
What would he do if he came back here and find all these suitors in his house?
You're pining for a daddy you didn't even know, like some sniveling bastard.
Who's looking after your wife and son?
Do you see?
My dad is coming home.
Bringing vengeance.
Bringing it all.
I need everyone at this party dead.
I can still save them.
You're a man who needs to control his fate. But you cannot control this.
That world is gone.
No one could stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
Keep us straight!
I think it's asleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely awesome.
Cannot
So
wait. Oh my god.
Well, do you know what? Last year they sold over here in the UK. They sold IMAX tickets probably like October. They sold out the day they released them. So all the IMAXs over here, like in the big ones in London, they're all gone. I don't know about around the country, but I know that all the London IMAXs are already sold out.
Wow.
They sold out like in October.
Yeah. It might be besides like I want to say besides like Dune and Avengers coming out this year, it might be the biggest movie of the year. Like it just
Yeah.
got some
I
hard
think
hitters this year.
I think Odyssey, Avengers, Spider-Man,
yes.
and Dune. Those four.
Yeah, they're the big ones there.
I think DC hopes Supergirl, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for Supergirl.
I will watch Supergirl. I will love it. I'm not sure if the general movie-going population will love Supergirl, but
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
us geeks will be there anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
110%.
Are you going to cosplay there, guys?
Yes. for all the movies this year.
I just meant Supergirl, but yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to. Anyway. By the way, I know this was the Australia thing where I talked about the TV show Skins. I just quickly looked it up. There was a show that came out in Australia called Slide, and it was the Australian version of Skins it was billed as. And I actually watched it. I thought it was pretty cool. So I don't know if you can get it at all. And if you are listening or watching and you enjoyed Skins, it was very similar to Skins. Okay, so we also do something here on Geeks Unleashed called Geek of the Week. Geek of the Week is where something that we've all done on our own that we've enjoyed, whether that's something we've read or watched or done, etc. I may have already got Devaughn to reveal his with chance, but if there's anything else, Devaughn, that you wanted to shout out, is there anything at all?
I do. So I bought a record from.
Oh wow!
Cool.
So this was his second mixtape that he came out with. This is when I first started listening to him, so I bought that when I was there. Very happy that I have it.
Did he sign it?
He did not. He wasn't doing autographs. He was only doing pictures.
Okay.
Unfortunate, but that's okay.
That's a great album.
Oh, it's so good. I also picked up a couple of books. So I picked up Andy Ware's Artemis, which is his third book, which is about a moon colony. So I'm excited to read that because obviously Project Hail Mary and The Martian.
I know this is terrible, but I read most of it, but I didn't finish it.
Artemis?
And it was really cool. I loved the sort of the kind of economy and the world building that he does on that moon base. But I can't remember. I was in the middle of doing something, and then I put it down, and then I kept meaning to go back to it. But I've done most of it. I should try and go back to it. It was really cool.
I'm very excited. I just like his style of writing, especially after Project Hail Mary. So I'm really excited. And then I also picked up Between Two Fires. I've heard nothing but good about this. It's a medieval horror book. It's basically about a knight who is kind of tarnished. He's a tarnished knight, and he runs into a young orphan girl, and he has to bring her basically across a battlefield of demons and angels because the world is going crazy about the Black Plague. So very excited about that. I also purchased, I'm waiting for it to get here, book 1 of Void Rivals. So I will be checking that one out. I picked it up.
Nice.
Yeah, I picked it up off of thriftbooks.com. So there's a bit of a discount on there. So it's probably used, but like I saw it and I was like, you know what? I'm grabbing it. So
it doesn't matter,
yeah, I'm excited for that to show up and check that one out too. So
no, I can't believe that. So people don't know this, but after the show last week, we started educating Devaughn on the Energon universe. So.
Yes. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
I will be jumping in, and you guys will hear my thoughts once I start.
Amazing.
So
I think I've read like the first 12 plus issues of Energon and Transformers, and again, it's just me keeping up with things, but it's really good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait.
I think if you enjoy that, you're going to end up very quickly jumping into Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
It is probably one of the best thought out shared universes in a long time. So
nice. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, Tom, what about you? Any geeks of the week?
Yeah, to be honest, as we spoke about earlier, I was pretty flat out this week, so I didn't get a lot of movies in, but I've got a few books in. But the one I want to shout out this week, Absolute Superman issue 19.
Nice.
And,
okay.
I give this one a read, and it's just awesome. I mean, Raphael Sandoval on the art. It's just some of these panels are just incredible. And what you're getting now into issue 19, you're really getting the benefits of some of the earlier issues you've been reading and pick up points from earlier. And you're really starting to see the benefits of that. But also, obviously, I won't say no spoilers, but there's a lot of interesting characters that show up that maybe haven't been so familiar in the Absolute universe. Really cool to see. Ends on a nice cliffhanger. So looking forward to next month. Yeah.
Devaughn, so the Absolute universe is separate from the main DC universe.
Yeah.
So have you heard of the Ultimate Universe at Marvel?
Yeah. I've seen some of the Absolute stuff, like Absolute Batman and Joker and all that. How kind of like crazy they kind of look and all that, which is really, really cool. I like that they're doing something.
So essentially, it's another universe where they've all had something taken away from them. So Bruce Wayne essentially grew up poor and had no money. However, the twist is that he did grow up with his mum, but not his dad. And Superman grows up. He comes to Earth a lot later. He doesn't come as a child. He comes as maybe 20-something years old and didn't grow up with the Kents and has a completely different attitude. And he has no relationship really with the Kents. They kind of get a brief kind of cameo. That's it. And Wonder Woman doesn't grow up on Themyscira. She grows up in Hell. So there's all these. So she doesn't have any of the Amazons or anything like that. So
that's my favorite one. The Wonder Woman ones at the moment. That's been my favorite run in the Absolute universe. It's amazing.
That's awesome. I like that. Heck yeah, that's an awesome twist.
Basically, they're trying to put twists on everything. So basically, DC tried to play around with the characters a few years ago, and they created the New 52, and everyone hated it. They didn't want them to mess around with the main continuity. So I think why the Absolute Universe works is because the main continuity is still going, but they've got this other universe where they kind of made these modernizations, but left the current series alone. So I think
it's really working. It's like it's doing really good numbers. It's really boosted DC up in the last kind of 2 years. I think it's been running. So it's really working for DC, and it's each issue just continues to grow the universe out. It's just really exciting to follow.
That's awesome.
And it's interesting. Marvel just announced yesterday or the day before that they're starting a new universe called the Midnight Universe, and it looks like they're taking a darker route as well. Maybe.
Oh, okay. I saw that poster, but I didn't know what that was. So.
Yeah. I'm interested to find out more about that, to be honest.
Okay, so I've had a really busy week. I did go to the cinema yesterday, but I'm not going to talk about that because we're talking about it next week. But I have seen 2 films at home this week. One is a film that came out in 2023 called Dumb Money, and I watched it on Paramount Plus. Dumb Money is based. This is so interesting this to me. I wish I knew more about the stock market than I do. So this is based off of the GameStop share thing. It stars Paul Dano, who just fucking, it's so good, honestly. There's a line at the end where I always struggle to say her name. Shailene Woodley, how do you say her name?
Shani Woodley. Yeah.
She turns to him right at the end of the film and she says to him, "You're a gangster." And literally, he couldn't be any further from looking like a gangster. Everything he wears like t-shirts covered in cats and all that. Like he's like the most uncoolest guy going, but he just is so good. Anyway, the film is interesting for me in terms of the stock market and the shorting and all the rest of it, and how this one guy he invested 50k and walked out with over 35 million. This is true. This actually happened. And then what it was is the people that were betting against GameStop, one particular guy lost almost 7 billion. So this one guy in his basement through Reddit and YouTube took out this billionaire, and he didn't make billions, but he walked away with 30 plus million. How crazy is that?
Insane.
I just and also the way they did it, it was factual and interesting, but they took a comedy route with the film, but it was so good. Like afterwards, I was just like, I was kind of full of it watching it. I just thought it was a really sort of uplifting film. It was, a real eat the rich film. Right, the other film I want to quickly talk about, and I know we need to jump into our main film here. For my Geek of the Week, it's a film that's a deep social message here in this film. So it's called Slanted, and I did talk about this film at the start of the year. Do you remember me mentioning this? And so it stars, essentially has two actresses playing the same character. Shirley Chen plays Joan, and she is Chinese, moves to America, and grows up essentially feeling like the blonde, white, pretty girls get given everything to them. And she comes across this sort of secret clinic and goes through a racial transformation and becomes white, and walks out of there as McKenna Grace, playing now Joe. And I don't want to ruin anything about this film, but it does send the right message though by the end of it. And she really reconciles with what she's done afterwards, and which I think is also a message that people do play around with their image with surgery and stuff, and do things they regret. But I told my friend about it yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, that's a dangerous film to make." And I went, "Yeah, no, I know, but like honestly, you'd have to watch it." So how I sort of describe it is a bit like if The Substance and Mean Girls had a baby. But yeah, no, it's a real low budget film, but it's done really well, and I was really intrigued watching it. It
sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, it is, and I think it definitely puts across the right message. It's not saying anything about becoming white, and it's definitely about your own identity and people. I don't want to say any more. Watch the film, and by the end of it, I was like, "That's a really good film." So
nice,
cool.
Right, okay. We will now move into our main event, which is to discuss the third movie in our disaster trilogy. And I lined up Devaughn to do the credits because I am terrible at pronunciations. So,
so Suzume came out in 2022. It was written and directed by Makoto Shinkai. Produced by Koichiro Ito and Genki Kawamura, and then starring Nanoka Hara, Hakuto Matsumura, Eddie Fukatsu, and Shoto Somitani. Yep.
You did much better than I did.
I was going to say, well done on the names.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I think, do you know, the last review, you were late, weren't you? You were at stuck at some truck festival in traffic, and I was really hoping you'd be on to be able to do this for me, and I was really struggling to get through this. Right, okay, so this was released the 11th of November 2022 in Japan, and then April 14th 2023 in the America, well, let's say in the USA, in America. Right, okay. Running time 2 hours 2 minutes. Had a budget of 13 million. Guess how much it made? Go on, Tom. Go on, Tom. How much did it make?
I'm gonna go 200 million.
320 million.
Wow.
And it puts it in the top 5 grossing anime films of all time.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Before we get started, look, I have it. I bought the Blu-ray.
Hey.
Also, I have the Weathering with You Blu-ray, and I have Your Name Blu-ray.
Yes.
So I don't own that many Blu-rays, but I decided to buy these. Right. When Jasmine is on, she likes to do something called Fun Facts, and occasionally I might do them. Right, okay. I've got 3 for you. This film was inspired by a real-life tragedy. Right. Whilst the movie is a fantasy adventure, it's deeply rooted in the 2011, I'm going to struggle to say this, Tokuka earthquake and tsunami. Shinkai wanted to address the holes left in the Japanese society by the disaster. The date seen in the diary entry in the film, March 11th, is the actual date of the tragedy that occurred.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Okay, so we know that there's 2 main characters, and one of them is Suta, who is the male with the long, lovely hair and stylish and good looking. However, he was almost a girl. So originally, this was meant to be a buddy movie between 2 girls. However, the producers encouraged him to change the dynamic to appeal to the romance and create a broader audience. And as a compromise, Shinkai turned the male lead into a chair most of the movie to keep the focus on Suzume's personal growth rather than the traditional romance. And do you know what? I know I looked that up and found that out, but I could tell that whilst I was watching. I thought that move to the chair was deliberate to not push the romance too much. But I wondered if that was to do with age, but obviously that wasn't to do with age.
Yeah.
So
because after I watched it, I looked up the ages between them, and it's not a big difference, but it's a difference enough when they mention it in the movie what he does and compared to her, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then when he got turned into a chair, I was like, okay, cool, all right.
Yeah, I thought this chair thing is to make this more appropriate, because if he's got like a job and an apartment, he's got to be somewhere getting towards 25, and she seems like she's 17 or something.
Yeah. She was 17 and he was 21.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. So I can remember the age, but when I was watching it, I was like, he's definitely got some age on her.
Yeah, which him looking like that at 21 is crazy. I'm just saying, that's crazy.
Right. Okay. Last one. Suzume is the first anime movie in over 20 years to be selected to compete for the Golden Bear at the Berlin International Film Festival. The last film to do so was Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away in 2002, and it received a standing ovation from the international press, as it should do.
Yes.
So, right, okay. In 2022, there was a few other anime films, and I don't know if you guys remember, it was just off the back of COVID, and we had Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which I have not seen. And there was another film, which I know is very controversial, called Turning Red. Yeah, I've not seen that either. But the next one I have seen, which was Minions: The Rise of Gru. I love those Minions.
Minions are great.
Right, we have covered the trilogy now. Well, we're going to talk about the last one, but I just thought I mentioned it to these guys before we started recording. There were some themes with each one. So we covered Your Name, and that was about finding someone. This is my opinion, by the way, about finding someone. Weathering with You was about, in my opinion, choosing someone over the world.
Yeah.
And this one was about healing from the past. I felt like this was about dealing with trauma, and that's kind of me now building up. But Tom, you are now 3 animes in your life now. I want to go to you first. Right, you'd never watched anime before we got you into these films.
That's true.
Right. Yeah. So what's your thoughts, man? What's your overall thoughts on this film?
Yeah, so overall, I mean, the trilogy as a whole, it's like really opened my eyes up to the format and definitely made me want to, like you mentioned, Spirited Away earlier, like it's made me want to go and find these movies, dig them out, and give them a chance. So yeah, it's definitely opened my eyes in that regard. But I will say this movie was a little bit of a mixed bag for me. There's a lot that I really like about the movie and really appreciate from like an artistical point of view. But for whatever reason, I don't think I connected with this film as much as I did the first two. And I'm not sure if that was because of some of the fantastical elements of it, or if I just found the stories a little bit more stronger in the first two. But I was still in complete awe of like the animation, and I think that's a really strong suit. I really wish I knew the name of the studio that did that animation, because I think like it's important that they get shouted out. But I think ultimately overall the trilogy is incredible. The way the director manages to kind of weave the beautiful animation with the emotional storylines like in each individual film, and he's kind of touching on different aspects of that. I just found it like really compelling, really enjoyable to watch, and like a visual feast, really.
I do agree with you. The visual, one of the things about the visual stuff that jumps out is the use of like the color blue, and also the flares. He uses the same style across all three films. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, before I talk, Devaughn, what about you?
Overall thoughts? I'm very upset that I love Your Name, right? And I'm gave it like the highest score because I want to give the highest score to this one, right?
Yeah.
Suzume was absolutely unbelievable. I absolutely loved it. Just from her journey to where she started, and something to say, like this movie, I feel like this one started off like very quickly. Like it jumped into it so fast, and it didn't. And they did such a good job. And the animation studio is Comics Wave Films. And they've done all three of the movies.
So impressive.
So like just like we talked about, the color wave that they use for everything. I think that the story itself really holds up, from I'm sure we'll get into it later, but from the stuff that in the start of the movie, her locking the door, unlocking her bike, doing all that stuff, the way it melds so into what she needs to do, like seeing like the key go into the door in the beginning for her to lock the door before she leaves, and then knowing later on what they're doing, it like matched up so well. I did figure out the twist in the movie quite early on, maybe like halfway through. It popped into my head and I was like, whoa. Like it was at one point I paused it and I was like, there's 40 minutes left. I said, what else are we doing? Like what else is gonna go on? And I don't know, man. Like this one, I think this might be my favorite one out of all three. Like I absolutely love this movie. My girlfriend doesn't really watch a lot of anime, and I told her, I said, you need to sit down and watch this movie because you're going to enjoy it. Like it was so good. Like the relationship she has with Suta, even the relationship she has with the gods themselves, right? The two gods that she runs into, like absolutely amazing. And like the way that you can see that, not only what they're doing is important, but the way that words have an effect on people, in this movie. So I think, it was so good. I absolutely, it was actually, because I've cried with Your Name. I didn't cry with Weathering You, but I cried during this one. Like I was sobbing at the end on this one. I was like, why am I crying? Like it ended on a happy note, but like, like it was so well done. There is one thing I want to critique on the director, and I know that he does it for obvious reasons. There's a reason why he does it. I just hate the way he ends the movies, like the way it just like
Same,
abruptly
each
ends.
one, yeah.
It just ends, and then like this was the first time I actually sat through the credits, and like they do like go back and like show you stuff that happens. I was like, okay, as long as I have that, but I just don't like that he just goes, all right, and that's it. And I was like, no, there's just so much more that I need to see. Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, I mean, these are like up there with some of like the hard hitting animated movies. I think is so good. I recommend this trilogy to everyone. Absolutely, it's so good.
Do you know what? I'm glad that we took our time to get through this rather than doing it weekly. I'm glad that we put things in between it. Because it kind of gave us the ability to savor these films and break them down and not rush into them. I've seen this film several times, but I rewatched it tonight before we recorded or went live. And man, this is a beautiful film. This is a very different. So the visuals are the same, and the kind of storytelling. He has got. I think he tells the same type of story, if you know what I mean. And like you said, he always ends them similarly as well. He kind of leaves it down to the audience to make up their minds about what happens next. For me at a young age, there's no way they're staying together, but you know, might have an interesting year or two after this. But well, I never take any relationship seriously if they're like 21. She's like 18. She's not staying with him. But it could be cool if there was a follow-on, but there never will be. I don't think he's that kind of guy. But we talked, Tom, you alluded to maybe not as enjoying this as much as the first two. And this is the one where I would say there is a significant difference in his storytelling. So the first one is set in two locations with two different sort of group of friends throughout the film. And then Weathering with You really just has its core group of friends set predominantly in the same area, and that's it. This film takes the road trip and whatever they talked about, the buddy film. This was on a road trip that takes you across from one part of the island to the other part of the island. And we get to meet several different clusters of people. I did enjoy that, and I liked the clusters. But I also liked when we did the titles at the end that we got to go back and sort of show us that journey as well. It's a slightly different art style. And I was like you, Devaughn, when he ended it, I was like, I couldn't quite remember the ending, so I stuck through that little montage. And then we eventually see Suzume walking down the hill in sort of winter clothing to demonstrate to the audience that some time had passed, and she obviously runs into them and leaves it open. But yeah, just for me, I felt like this was kind of the Avengers Doomsday of the trilogy. This felt like the biggest disaster.
100%.
One of it. Well, I know in Your Name it was a meteorite, but she saved everybody. Kind of everybody was, and we didn't really see the meteorite either. We only kind of heard. I mean, they sort of flashed, but it wasn't really. I didn't feel it was as big a thing. And then Weathering with You was just kind of the weather. There was some flooding and stuff. This was absolute monster beasts, dragons, whatever you want to call them. Demons from hell trying to break out, and if they hit the earthquakes, and you just felt the sheer urgency of it all. And one of my favorite moments though as well was just when she's on the roller coaster, and whilst the cat and the chair are fighting, and she ends up getting stuck on the wheel turns on, and she's up in the air now trying to break the door. I was like, oh, this is so cool, and
so awesome.
You know, it would make it like it's amazing on its own. But imagine if that was like a real life, film. If it's remade with real people. I don't need it to be. If this is cool. But I could feel it though as I was watching it. I was like, man, this is like exciting. Do you know one of my favorite bits of it was the whole montage of them closing the door. I looked this up. O divine gods who dwell beneath this land, you have long protected us for generations. Your mountains and rivers that we have long called our own, I return them to you. And every time he read out that speech, as he's like putting the key in, and I just felt like the drama, and honestly, I was so there. Like,
well done.
Honestly, you could gush about this film for ages. But okay, one of the things I wanted to ask you guys about, and I wondered if this was part of Tom's dislike, was what did you guys think about the road trip element?
Yeah, I mean that did pull me out of it a little bit. Yeah, I like as I'm thinking about it, sat here because I am starting to think, why was it, specifically, why was I not as invested in the other two? And I think the road trip, and like you say, there's a bit more characters going on, and there was a bit more going on in general, but I don't know, man. There's still, like, as we're talking about, there's still so much to be enjoyed about it. But yeah, I think I'm not by any means saying I disliked it. I'm just saying I think the connection was a bit stronger with the first two. But yeah, to confirm the road trip element of it, yeah, it did take me out of it a little bit.
I think with the road trip element for me, it only really allows you to bond with the character as Suzume. However, what I did like about the road trip, having never been to Japan, was that it showed you different regions of Japan and different.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I felt like that was cool, and it gets to show. I liked seeing the different clusters of people and how their lives and how she interacts with them. I thought that was cool, especially the place where it's like a bar or something where she ends up staying. I thought.
Oh yeah, the karaoke bar. Yeah.
What do you think about the road trip element of it?
I didn't mind it. I can see where it causes that, like having like not even like an issue, but like where there's a lot of characters, right? I mean, you've got the first girl she runs into, her whole family, the one with the tangerine, Chica was her name. And then Rumi with her 2 kids and at the bar. I mean, already you got them. Sota's friend. You've got her aunt, you've got her aunt's coworker. And then you've got, the two gods, which I would have to say that I kind of disliked the gods, but I also liked them, right? I disliked them because, I mean, throughout all mythology, right, gods, they tend to mess with people, right? And obviously, like, that's their whole goal. But for like here, it just felt like, okay, well, they're chasing after this god, but they're never giving them a straight answer, like, what are you doing? And then we don't figure out till the end, like, what's going on, like what they're trying to do. And then the other god shows up and is, like using her aunt and whatnot, like to show like emotion, but then becomes cool with them. And I'm like, it's kind of a little confusing at first, but then you get it, like, once you're like, oh, well, they're just here. They've been locked up. They're free now. So like they want to mess around and play, but also they're here for a purpose, And I wanted more of a backstory between the grandfather and the other god, because, he said, oh, it's been a long time, friend, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, who's this new cat that's here? And that's kind of all you get with that. And that's kind of shut and closed. But I think the road trip part, I can see where it throws a lot of people off. Like if they just don't, if they're not like vibing with it, because you are jumping from place to place and you're not in one spot, like concretely. But I didn't mind it too much. I liked the, meeting all those characters and whatnot, and then seeing them on the way back through the credits was really cool. She gets to have that moment with her aunt and whatnot, which is really, really rad.
It's almost like Devaughn mentioned earlier about how the film just starts real fast and it kind of gets straight to it.
Yep.
I don't want to say it slowed it down because as you said, it is kind of jumping from place to place, but there was something there about it starting so epically and fast, and then coming down to this road trip that it did feel a little bit of a it just felt different at that point in the film for me. But,
I'm inclined to agree, because like you've got a disaster going on right now, right? Like there's ultimate destruction happening, and obviously, I mean, they only move into motion when it shows up, but at the same time, you're trying to figure out where you're going. So like, I don't know. I'll tell you this: there are not that many helpful people over here in America that would do that. I don't see a lot of people just like stopping to pick up a 17-year-old girl and be like, all right, let's go. Where are you going? Okay, I'll take you there. Yeah, no, there's not a lot of that going on.
Do you know, like those people that she comes across, and everybody she comes across helps her, and they're so happy to, like, can you babysit my kids, or all these things. And I don't even see that happening here. Now, I think people are helpful, but I don't see them being helpful enough to let some random person move in. I know I feel like, I know this sounds like I'm about to blow my own trumpet, but I know like I am really helpful. Like for instance, my old house we used to live, there used to be the road was sealed off for a couple of years because of like building new houses, and after about 3 years they opened it up, and loads of people used to get their sat nav and come to either one side or the other and couldn't work out how to get to the other side. And that I used to see regularly people walking past my house because I was right near where this barrier was, and I literally would probably go out once or twice a week, just go outside and see people just wandering around trying to figure out like what to do. And a lot of the time I would just tell them that you have to just go out, back out, do a left, etc., and you get round. But there was one time there was an older guy in his car, I want to say he was like 75 or something, sitting in his car, and I went out there and I saw him and I said, I can tell you're stuck. And he went, yeah. And I sort of said, you got to turn the car around, do a left, etc. It's like 3 lefts and basically get around the other side. And he went, I'm confused. And I went to him, I don't mind doing this. If you're okay with it, I'm free for 10 minutes. I can jump in your passenger side if you're okay with it, and we'll go around the other side. And he went, is that okay? I went, yeah, it's fine. So I went with him all the way around the other side, took him exactly to where he needed to go. And he goes, that makes perfect sense now. He said, do you want me to take you home? I went, no, it's absolutely fine. Literally, it's 10 minutes to walk back. Right. So I just jumped out of the car and walked back. And I know that does sound like, I'm so wonderful, but genuinely, I'm one of those characters that will help people. Yeah. And I know there's not a lot out there that would do that, but I hope there are other people out there like me that would do that. I'm not sure if I would let a random 17-year-old move into my house for a week,
right?
But I would be more than willing to help them find something. But I don't see that part is definitely creative.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely gives a sense of community in the movie, right? Like everyone 100%. Like willing to help her and whatnot.
But then maybe, like, I don't know what it's like in Japan. Maybe that.
I was about to say, like, maybe that is a cultural thing.
Yeah, I mean, you help me, I help you. I mean, she helped the girl grab her tangerines or oranges, and she was like, "All right, well, you come with me." And then, she gave her a ride. Hey, I gave you a ride. Is there any way you can help me out and all that? So, yeah, I get it.
I'm curious now. I might after this movie. I don't know. I don't have any close Japanese friends, but I'm sure I could look around and see if I can find something. I'm curious to see if that's what the culture's like. Yeah. If that's what the culture's like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But yeah, and this is actually something I did want to bring up was this movie does actually highlight the kindness of strangers, to be honest. So I feel like it does definitely paint a very community-based picture in Japan, and I hope what we saw in the film is true.
Yep.
Right, okay. We talk about visuals, but guys, let's talk about visuals. Let's talk about his style. The studio that he used for all 3 films definitely replicated replicated the style. So much so, you could argue potentially is Light one of the characters of this film. It's very much like a cliche that he's replicated across all 3 films.
Yeah,
most definitely. I think, honestly, it just steps up each movie, right? Because this, like, it's the same style, but it just seems a little bit more advanced in this movie, right? Like the animation itself, like I noticed slight differences and whatnot, but like you said, I mean, when you were drawn to the poster, right, the colors are insane. Even when they're in, like, at the end, when they're in that place and the big god is fighting the monster and whatnot, like the white clashing with the red and the black and the ice that's forming on them when they're trying to rip the sea out, like it's done so beautifully, and like the color contrast is so. They do such a good job.
So I didn't say this before, but this was actually the first one I watched of the 3 films. I watched this one first, and the reason I watched this first was purely based off of this poster. This poster caught my eye. That's just the front cover of the Blu-ray. I saw this poster online somewhere, and it was this door and the whole visuals around it. I think this highlights it. The blue around the door really emphasizes the blue around the door emphasizes the door, and that made me then drawn to the mystery of the door. So his blue coloring emphasized this mysterious door in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, I want to know about this door, I want to know about this mystery. So the coloring drew me into the mystery. So, Tom, what about you?
Well, yeah, I just on that as well. I mean, I feel like all three of the posters are really like bright and like inviting and make you want to dive in, you know. So yeah, I agree with you on that. But in terms of the visuals, man, I mean, I agree with Devaughn that, you know, it just keeps getting better, and I think this might be the best of the three in terms of the visuals. Yeah, I mean, countless shots I'm thinking of. Like the first time you see the, I don't know if I'm calling it like the worm or the monster.
Yeah, the worm.
The worm.
Yeah. The first time you see the worm and like the gold strings coming out of it, and like it just looks so beautiful, man. It kind of reminded me of like my I suppose my first kind of like foray into that type of visual stuff. Is like Breath of the Wild or something, you know, when
like cell shaded almost.
Yeah, you know, when like Link would like touch the pad and lights would like, it kind of reminded me of that, and I just find it so, it was so beautiful to look at. No matter where I was at with the story, I was always really content with the visuals that I was seeing. I thought some of the you mentioned the Ferris wheel scene earlier. I thought that was crazy, and when the worm showed up in Tokyo as well, it just epic, like and makes me want to watch more anime if this is the standard. You guys tell me, is this the standard? Is this above?
This is above. This is above.
I'm going, unfortunately, to have to disagree.
Okay.
It's definitely up there. But like the one studio that does like animation so well is Mappa Studio, and they've put out like the Demon Slayer movies. They've done all of Demon Slayer and like Attack on Titan, like the newer seasons, and like Jujutsu Kaisen. That animation is absolutely insane. It is.
Sorry, I've gone blank on Attack on Titan.
It's incredible. Like to know that all this stuff is drawn out first, right? Like they draw it out, and it's a manga. Obviously not these ones, right? They do draw these out, but like they do it in an animation like program. I'm assuming. But
okay,
like,
I'll take it back. I'm wrong.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good, because I definitely think
this is in the mix then. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's up there, but like I think there's certain studios that take it to the max, and I think Mappa Studio is like one of those. Like, if I showed you like some fight scenes from some of like there's a fight scene in Jujutsu Kaisen between three characters. Really, it's two characters working against one.
Right.
It is an insane fight scene, and it's so well like done. It's absolutely incredible. But like, I mean, Comics Wave, they do their thing here. Like,
man, Jujutsu Kaisen is so freaking good. Like that. Do you know what, actually, that's something, as I was about to say about Jujutsu Kaisen, that's something I was about to talk about in this film. The way the animation obviously is anime, but the way they interlink music so heavily in Jujutsu Kaisen, honestly, I remember watching that first season, this is fucking good. I was like, this is just, but anyway, that's what I want to talk about with this, with anime, especially certain moments of this film. So this is a Japanese rock band called Rad Wimps, and it's his third collaboration with them. Just the vocals, all of it. It just really intensifies some of the really key moments in this movie. I think anime. There's a lot of anime that really does pull in some amazing music. So, and this is one of those. Yeah, I think the music, it just emphasizes the animation in this film, like it does in Jujutsu Kaisen.
No, I'm definitely going to be. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out for other things. In the anime format, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, enjoyed the trilogy, and it's, like I said, it's opened my eyes up. So I'm looking forward to diving into some more. Especially, like I said, if that's the level of animation, then because we're used to Western animation, so naturally when I'm diving into some different styles of animation, it's just it's really impressed me. I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but there was this one show, Star Wars Visions.
Oh, the first episode of Star Wars Visions is so good.
It's so good, and it was like these different styles of animation, and there was a lot of anime in there as well, and that's a nice little bridge if you're actually not into anime. Like if you're like, that's 100%. A nice little so it's really beautiful stuff, man. I want to dive into some more of it for sure.
Yeah, I think Radwimps. I think I liked their music on this one more than the other two. I think this one was more of like especially in the beginning, they had like a little jazzy feel to it, and I was like, oh wow, I really like this, and I even found myself like jamming out to like the last song that they did, and I actually had to look up because I know quite a few Japanese bands that I listen to, and I thought for whatever reason I forgot Radwimps did like all the music for these, so I looked up. I was like, oh, is this one group that I listen to, Kanabun? They do a lot of intros to a lot of animes, like they take their songs and whatnot. And I was like, no, it's Radwimps, duh. They've been doing all the music before, and I find myself wanting to listen to them now, like on my own, just because like I enjoyed it so much. Like it was so good in this movie.
100%.
Okay, so I just want to talk about some themes and emotional stuff, and we talked about this earlier. I actually want to talk about the chair, Suta, and I know we talked about briefly about we felt that maybe it was a safer choice because of the age. But I wasn't, in the beginning, I wasn't sure of his age, but I thought even if it was two 17-year-olds, perhaps they just wanted to do this to be safe. I think it was a risky creative choice. And the first time I saw this, I'll be honest, I did not like that they turned him into a chair. I felt like that was very jokey, but having rewatched it several times, I'm okay with it now. But I just wondered what you guys thought of the use of the chair.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it. I figured why they did it, right? You know, it's a very close item to her, and obviously we would, you know, get that. You kind of get that reveal in the beginning, right? Like that this chair means a lot to her, and I mean, she's had it for a long time, and then obviously throughout the movie you find out more and more, so it makes sense. I definitely can see why they did it, right, as a choice to make it not as romantic, right? Like, how can you fall in love with, you know, this inanimate object? But that's what everyone else sees, right? They see it as a chair. Even in the beginning when she goes like, well, you know, why don't you, you know, kiss it like it's a fairy tale? And I was like, well, that's kind of weird, right? And then even later on when she sits on the chair, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like that's like that when she sat on the chair, I was like, all right, this kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that, but like you can definitely see where like the buddy cop thing comes in, or like buddy like type thing comes into it, especially like if it was supposed to be two girls like going along on their adventure and whatnot. But yeah, you can see why they made that choice to make him into a chair, definitely. And I was okay with it.
I think the chair was amusing when he was helping her with the kids because she was really struggling, and he jumped in as a magical chair that can walk, and the kids loved it and calmed down. So that's where that buddy thing came in. So, Tom, what do you think?
I'm not gonna lie, like first off, it threw me off. Like I didn't see that coming. You know, the guy just turned into a chair. So I was, I was a bit like, okay, this probably won't last long. Probably a quick little thing to just maybe demonstrate the power of said character and whatnot. So I was like, oh, we'll see what this. So when it kept going and kept going, I was like, oh wow, they're really sticking with this chair. Like, so I don't know. I feel like maybe on a second viewing, I might kind of just like. That's not going to creep into my brain, and it's not going to throw me out. I'm going to be, you know, expecting it. So I think on a second viewing that wouldn't bother me as much. But yeah, it definitely, you know, I wasn't, I didn't see it coming, and then I didn't expect it to last as long. But then, as you say, it once you realize it's there for the long run, and you know that it's, like you said, a part of the story, the connection, things like that. It will make sense.
The mother made the chair, and there's an emotional connection as well as I think. A creative and narrative choice to not have it be a boy and a girl running around, you know, well, maybe a man and a girl, really. But I didn't think about this, but the poster shows her holding the chair, which I don't think is obvious initially. Sorry,
I will say, Tom, as you watch more anime, you'll get used to stuff like that. It's really like, I mean, a lot of these tropes and stuff like carry throughout anime, right?
Yeah.
People turn into objects and stuff like that. So maybe it's just because I'm like blind to it. Like I've seen it happen a lot, so that could be why.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, mate, go and watch Spirited Away. And watch what happens to the girl's parents quite early on.
Spirited Away is so good.
That is one on the list. I hear. Is that Studio Ghibli?
Ghibli, yeah. That one's good. Princess Mononoke is really good. Howl's Moving Castle's all of Studio's movies.
Well, yeah, even Howl's Moving Castle. She's a young girl at the start, and then in most of the movie, she's an old woman. So they do some really weird twists along the way. Sorry,
they do like those like that studio does a really good job with their movies. My Neighbor Totoro, like they're so good.
I'm gonna have to seek these out because I that's the one studio I have heard of, but I've never seen any of the films. I don't even know if I've seen the art style really, but I'm gonna dive into it. Is there a best one I should be looking at? Or
well, I mean, probably Spirited Away.
Spirited Away, yeah. I think Spirited Away. The top three would be Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and Princess Mononoke. Most definitely, like those are the top three.
No, man, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Suggestions.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we start to bring it to a close and maybe rate it?
Well, I don't know if you're going to include this in a rating, but I was going to say if you guys maybe had a ranking for like all three, or I don't know if that was going to be part of the ranking.
Man.
What is that overall? Is that overall? You mean? I think we've rated them all fives anyway. So.
That's true, I suppose. But I don't know. Is there one that stands out more for you guys?
Okay. All right, let's go around the room then. Okay, I'll tell you what, Tom, do you want to start as you mentioned it?
Yeah, to be honest, the first one kind of knocked me off my feet with Your Name. That one really, I wasn't expecting that to be as great as it was. So that's probably the one for me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And Tom, what would you rate Suzume then?
Do you know what? Initially I gave it a 3 out of 5, but I think since having this conversation and thinking more about it, I'm more likely to up it to at least a 3.5 at the moment, and then. On a review, I could probably see that going up higher. And they all three do have a lot of replay value just because of how beautiful they are. So, go 3.5 on this one.
Okay, cool. All right, Devaughn, what was your favorite of the three? And
Suzume takes the cake, man. It really does, man. This is like a 5 out of 5 for me. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and actually watching just because spoilers for later on when we do these shows, we're going to be watching another anime, which I'm really excited for because I haven't seen it, Akira. So this made me do my Crunchyroll subscription because Suzume was on there, and I was like, all right, well, let me see if some other ones are on there that we're going to do. And Akira was on there, and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. Like I'm going to do Crunchyroll. So I'm so excited to like go back and watch it again. I absolutely love this movie, and Your Name was the first one I ever watched throughout this trilogy, and I loved that movie when I first saw it, and even for the second time I saw it. But this one was like, it was so good, so good. Loved it. So 5 out of 5 for me.
You sold it, man. I want to go watch it again now.
It's so good.
Right, okay, like 5 out of 5, 100%. They're all 5 out of 5. They are all standalone masterpiece films, which we have been told, and you can look it up. They're in a shared universe, although they are in a kind of a Disney shared universe. They may just have a walk on in a scene or something. They're not. Yeah, they're like like the Pixar characters that you see just walking up through a door or something.
Yeah.
But it's all part of his shared sort of disaster trilogy universe, and I believe this is now the end. I don't know of any more that are coming, but I think that's kind of it. I feel like I'm going to shout out Suzume 2 because that's the one that it was that poster that I saw, and that's what attracted me. And then I had heard of Your Name. I hadn't heard of Weathering with You. But I'd heard of Your Name. Your Name sounded interesting. And then when I saw the poster for Suzume, I was like, I've got to watch this. And then I saw it. I was like, this is so good. I was like, what else did this guy do? So for me, Suzume was like my gateway drug to this guy. 5 out of 5, and Suzume is my favorite of the three. I think I do like the road trip element because it's different from his other two as well. And I think the buddy thing was cool too. So I feel like this one played down the romanticness more than the other two. So
definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Right, so 5 out of 5 for me, 5 out of 5 for Devaughn, and Tom's 3.5. We'll have to knock that Tom back on again. Right, okay. So next week we are going to watch people beat the crap out of each other in Mortal Kombat 2.
Let's go.
Yeah. Right, okay. So we are on social media everywhere, Geeks Unleashed, etc. You can also, if you are on your podcasting platform, listen to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube, we're on podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. So please just rate us 5 stars, or don't bother rating us at all. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening, watching, etc. Right, see you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Hold on.